Hello, I'm Ruby Lopez with Walnut Creek TV. Now today we're here with Police Chief Thomas Chaplin. Now recently the Walnut Creek Police Force has made changes aimed at making our community safer and healthier, and we're here to chat about them. So first off, thank you so much for joining us, Chief.
Well, I'm excited about it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so talk to us about some of the changes that have been made within the force recently.
Well, some of the transition that we've undergone includes we have changed the way we deploy our officers, which means essentially we have changed the shift and the schedule for the police department. We've done this in an effort to ensure we have more officers on the street for the busiest times of day. We've also increased the overlap. This change has given us the opportunity to get our motor team back out there in a full-time capacity. They've been on a hiatus for the last couple of years due to some staffing concerns.
Now you mentioned that you have the motor team back out there, so what can drivers expect?
Well, they can expect the high-profile visibility from our motor officers, and they can expect that if they are, driving inappropriately, they might be contacted by one of our fine motor officers. Which, by the way, is not what we want. Ideally, we would just have people observe the rules of the road, drive in a very safe and courteous manner, and be in a better position to meet our officers by waving to them versus being pulled over by them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's talk about community policing. What is it and why is it so important?
Community policing is really the foundation of what we want to do at the Walnut Creek Police Department. It basically means that police officers, police staff works in concert with the community to address ongoing problems, long-term crime or quality of life issues, and that we work together to resolve these and really create long-term solutions. It could be something as simple as an ongoing crime problem, a trend or a series in a specific area, where we work with the community to say, listen, we need you to be our eyes and ears, and what we will do is go out there and try to stop inappropriate behavior from occurring, educate the community to essentially harden the target, and really work together to resolve the problem. Yeah,
so teamwork and open communication, right?
Open communication is really the foundation of community policing. I'll give you a perfect example. We've had a growing trend of vehicles being broken into. And when I look more closely at what's happening, people are breaking into cars, they're smashing the windows, they're seeking other ways into the cars, and they're stealing valuable items such as GPS, cell phones, iPads, or laptops, or purses. So if I could have an conversation with the community, a simple step would be don't leave valuables in your car, or at least put them in your trunk, lock your vehicle, and be aware of your surroundings.
Now, I've also heard that you're working with the Rossmore community. How's that going?
Fantastic. Rossmore is a special and unique community within Walnut Creek. Just under 10,000 people, which represents roughly 15% of our population living in Rossmore. We have sought ways to interact with the Rossmore community in a way that increases their perception and feeling of safety and security. And there are unique issues in Rossmore. We have been speaking with them directly on traffic-related concerns, and on fraud and other crimes that can impact a community like Rossmore. One of the things we've started is a monthly Coffee with a Cop program. So every third Thursday from 10 to 11:30, we're at the Rossmore Clubhouse, and we spend time talking with the community, asking what's on their mind. And it's a good opportunity for someone to come up with maybe a simple question about, hey, how would I report this, or is this a problem, or how do I volunteer, because we're always looking for volunteers, but just an opportunity to engage. If we're present and open and able and willing to talk to people, it helps us solve problems before they become major issues, but also kind of tears down the walls and barriers that sometimes exist that can be caused simply from the uniform.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm sensing the theme here, communication, going out there and just really being with the community.
Absolutely. There's no question our primary function is to work for the community. We have four primary objectives as police officers. We seek to reduce crime, to reduce the fear of crime, keep the streets safe, and improve the quality of life, really for the Walnut Creek community and everybody that resides within or works here or visits here. So in order to do that, we have to be at the table and understand what are the areas that you want us to work on. So this level of connectivity is huge. In fact, I want our department to do things that other departments don't do, to engage with our community in new and special ways. One recent move towards that was I've created a professional Twitter account. It's at WCP Chief Chaplin, where we can share good news and really kind of an informal way to share what's going on within the department, or to address issues that are occurring in a real-time and quick way.
All right, I like it. Police Chief Chaplin,
WCP.
Active on Twitter. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, I also understand that you're implementing the School Resource Officer Program. So what do you hope to achieve with that?
Well, really, we'd like to have our officers assigned directly in the school. So their primary function would be to report to the schools in the day, work with the students, work with staff, work with parents, really to make sure that the students are feeling safe, they have an opportunity to interact with our officers, but more importantly, so we can really help to educate and lead through some of the difficult problems that kids encounter during school. Let's face it, there is underage drinking, there is substance abuse issues, there are things that exist now in high school that really weren't there when I was in high school, not to age myself, but the internet's fantastic. However, there are issues that come from those very resources that are so fantastic. We've seen instances where people were bullied via social media, inappropriate images were shared via social media, blatant cheating in terms of homework and the dissemination of confidential material has been occurring. So if we have somebody that's present that could answer questions and help prevent some of these issues, even if it's just a quick interaction that says, hey, here is what can happen with underage drinking. Our officers are going to have some anecdotal stories to say, I experienced this once and we care about you, so reconsider perhaps what you're doing. And if we reach one or two people, which I'm confident we'd reach a lot more, it's what we should be doing. So getting our school resource officers in the schools and engaged is going to be really important for us.
Okay, now you mentioned that you have your own Twitter page, but talk to us about some of the other many ways to stay engaged and connected with the force.
Well, I'm glad you reminded me, because the department has a Twitter page. We use Nixle, and we also use Facebook to engage with the community. So there are a lot of options to follow along with what we're doing, and even on the city's own website. Unfortunately, with all this great technology and the things we have access to, there are some unintended consequences. And one of the areas that I'm particularly concerned with is in the area of distracted driving. You simply cannot go anywhere without seeing people texting and driving. This is not a young person's issue either. This is everybody. You'll see them stopped at lights after everybody else has driven forward, or you're going down the freeway, somebody swerves, and you catch up to them and they're right back at texting. So I would just really ask people to consider, is that text that they're sending, that email that they're reading, as important as their own lives or the lives of others? There's just too much at stake. We've got to really tackle this issue. Now,
overall, what I'm getting is that it's really just important to go out there, like we were saying, communicating with the community, being a part of them and being with them. So, in wrapping this up, what would you say to the community and how they can best get involved or be in contact with you?
I would say follow along with what we're doing. Let us know what you need from us. When there's the opportunity, let's work together in concert to solve issues and problems. We are going to be doing a lot with our crime reduction model in days and months and years to come, in an effort to really focus on what's going on in the community. We're going to have to share that information, and we need people to be basically plugged in. It is very easy to feel comfortable in Walnut Creek. It's a beautiful community. There's much to do, and we would like to make it the safest community that anybody could live in. In order to do that, we've just got to have a great partnership with the people that are here. So please feel free to come by and visit. If you see one of our officers out on the street or in one of the coffee stores, you can't really say one of the coffee stores, because this kind of Pete's Starbucks thing in Walnut Creek is like a Coke Pepsi thing. So if you see somebody at one of the local coffee shops or at the schools, say hi to them. Ask, hey, what's going on in my neighborhood? You know, what can I do to help? And, you know, just how can we make this a safer environment and make sure we have a fantastic quality of life?
Okay, well, great. Chief, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to look for the Chief on Twitter, and also say hello when you see them out in the streets.
Please do. WCP Chief Chaplin. Look forward to talking to people that way.
Okay, thanks again.
Thank you.